President Trump has delivered a strong message to the BRICS countries, demanding assurances that they will block the rise of any rival currency to the US dollar. He reaffirmed his commitment to maintaining the dollar as the world's leading reserve currency and warned that severe economic sanctions, including 100% tariffs, would be imposed on any nation attempting to challenge its dominance. In a pointed statement late last year, President Trump declared, "There is no chance that BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade or anywhere else, and any country that tries should say hello to tariffs and goodbye to America." Earlier this year, he reiterated his stance on social media, stating, "BRICS countries working to undercut the dollar is something we won't stand for. We insist on a clear commitment that these nations will not create or endorse any rival currency that undermines the US dollar. Otherwise, they will face 100% tariffs and be totally cut off from the vast US market." Despite Trump's warnings, Brazil's BRICS presidency is moving forward with reforms aimed at facilitating cross-border payments in local currencies, an initiative that could gradually reduce the bloc's reliance on the US dollar. The focus is on streamlining international payments through innovative reforms, leveraging technologies such as blockchain and improved payment system linkages. These initiatives aim to lower transaction costs and reduce friction in global trade, creating a more efficient trading environment. Brazil is drawing on its domestic success with its instant payment system, PIX, which has rapidly overtaken traditional cash, credit, and debit card transactions since its launch in late 2020. Additionally, Brazil's local currency payment system, SML, already operates through agreements with Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, allowing for direct settlements in Brazilian reais without using the US dollar. Although current SML settlements take at least 3 business days, there is optimism that integrating instant payment technology could make these transactions more secure, faster, and cost-effective. BRICS representatives are set to meet in South Africa later this month on the sidelines of the G20 meetings, where Brazil will outline its plan for the July BRICS summit. As the group continues to expand, recently including countries such as Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, the initiative to enhance local currency payments is seen as part of a broader strategy to foster greater financial autonomy and resilience among emerging economies. The rise of the US dollar as the global reserve currency. From its early origins, the US dollar has evolved into a symbol of economic power and global influence. Its dominance was neither accidental nor immediate, but the result of key historical events, policy decisions, and global shifts. The dollar's rise as the world's principal reserve currency can be traced back to the aftermath of World War II, when nations sought stability and reconstruction. In 1944, Allied nations gathered at Bretton Woods to establish a new international monetary system. At this conference, the US dollar was chosen as the central currency, with other currencies pegged to it, and the dollar convertible to gold at a fixed rate. This arrangement provided a stable framework for global trade and solidified the United States' economic and political leadership. During this era, the dollar was more than just a medium of exchange. It symbolized hope, prosperity, and a commitment to rebuilding a war-ravaged world. For decades, the Bretton Woods system underpinned international trade. As global commerce expanded, the US dollar became essential for cross-border transactions. The strength of the American economy, supported by its industrial capacity and sound fiscal policies, reinforced confidence in the currency. the US dollar emerged as the undisputed leader in global finance, facilitating capital flows and trade across continents. However, by the late 1960s, fiscal imbalances and inflation began to strain the fixed exchange rate system. In 1971, President Nixon suspended the dollar's convertibility into gold in what became known as the Nixon shock. This pivotal event ended the Bretton Woods era and introduced floating exchange rates. Despite the uncertainties that followed, the US dollar retained its dominant position, buoyed by the strength of the American economy. The 1970s also saw the emergence of the petrodollar system, as major oil exporting nations agreed to price oil exclusively in US dollars. This development entrenched the dollar's role in global trade by ensuring constant demand, regardless of economic fluctuations. Over time, deep financial markets, a stable political environment, and strong international institutions have reinforced the US dollar's position. Trump's forceful declaration reflects the United States' growing awareness of the momentum behind de-dollarization initiatives. It underscores concerns that a widespread shift away from the US dollar could have significant implications for American economic influence. A move away from the dollar could erode its international stature and destabilize the US economy. If major economies successfully switch to alternative currencies or develop a viable challenger to the dollar, the US might face consequences such as diminished demand for treasuries, increased borrowing costs, and reduced geopolitical influence. A rapid shift away from the dollar would signify a profound change in the global monetary system, weakening America's ability to exert economic power. The repercussions of such a transition would be immense for global commerce, finance, and diplomacy, making it a critical issue for economists and policymakers to monitor. In this video, we will explore recent developments, focusing on Trump's warning to the BRICS nations. We will also examine the extent of BRICS progress and their objectives in reducing reliance on the US dollar. Let's begin by evaluating the current level of dollarization. BRICS members have been gradually increasing the use of their local currencies in trade to lessen their dependence on the US dollar. This shift toward greater financial autonomy is driven by both political and economic factors. China-Brazil agreement. In early 2023, China and Brazil, the two largest economies in the BRICS blocs, agreed to conduct trade using their respective currencies, the Chinese yuan, CNY, and the Brazilian real, BRL. This move eliminates the need for the US dollar as an intermediary, enhancing trade efficiency and reducing exchange rate fluctuations for businesses in both countries. Statistics show that China-Brazil trade reached approximately $150 billion in 2022, with China as Brazil's primary trading partner. The transition to local currencies is expected to simplify transactions by lowering conversion fees and enhancing financial independence. Iran-Russia local currency integration. Iran and Russia have made significant strides in linking their financial systems to boost bilateral trade and evade Western sanctions. This collaboration includes connecting their national payment networks and mutually accepting bank cards, strengthening economic ties between the two nations. In early 2023, Iran and Russia integrated their banking systems, allowing Iranian banks access to Russian financial institutions and over 100 banks in 13 other countries via Russia's system for transfer of financial messages, SPFS, an alternative to SWIFT. This integration facilitates letters of credit, transfers, and guarantees without relying on SWIFT, reducing the impact of Western sanctions. On July 6, 2024, Iran's central bank announced the integration of its Shatab interbank network with Russia's Mir payment system. This move enables the use of Mir cards in Iran, easing transactions for Russian tourists and businesses. The initiative aims to reduce dependence on Western financial routes and enhance bilateral trade. By November 2024, Iran and Russia deepened their financial integration further by allowing Iranian bank cards to be used in Russia. This measure facilitates easier payment processing and cash withdrawals for Iranian citizens abroad, reinforcing economic ties between the two nations. India-Russia trade in local currencies. India and Russia have also shifted toward using their local currencies for commercial transactions, particularly in the energy sector. Following Western sanctions on Russia in 2022, both nations increased the use of the Indian rupee, INR, and the Russian ruble, RUB, in their trade. In 2023, Russia became India's primary crude oil supplier, with a significant portion of these transactions conducted in INR. This arrangement allows both countries to bypass dollar-based payment systems, shielding them from external economic pressures. South Africa's yuan-based transactions. South Africa, the BRICS member with the smallest economy, has also been moving towards settling more transactions in yuan. China remains South Africa's largest trade partner, with annual bilateral trade exceeding $50 billion. In 2023, South Africa signed agreements to pay for specific imports, particularly machinery and electronics, in yuan. This shift reduces dollar dependence and increases yuan liquidity in African markets. BRICS Pay, a decentralized payment system. BRICS Pay is a decentralized payment platform developed by BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, to facilitate seamless cross-border transactions in local currencies. The initiative is designed to reduce reliance on Western-dominated financial networks, such as SWIFT, thereby strengthening the economic sovereignty of its member states. Launched in 2018 by the BRICS Business Council, the BRICS Pay project utilizes existing national payment infrastructures, including Russia's Mir network and India's Unified Payment Interface, to facilitate efficient international payments among member countries. The system allows users to send and receive payments in their native currencies, simplifying currency conversions and lowering transaction costs. BRICS Pay is built on advanced blockchain technology to ensure secure, transparent, and efficient financial transactions across its member nations. Its design integrates centralized systems for domestic operations with a decentralized structure for international transactions, ensuring regulatory compliance and technological adaptability. National payment systems, such as Russia's Mir, India's UPI, and China's UnionPay, are seamlessly integrated for secure local transactions. On the international front, the system employs blockchain's decentralized networks to enable direct peer-to-peer transactions, eliminating intermediaries and allowing for real-time, efficient settlements. Distributed ledger technology ensures immutable transaction records and supports smart contracts to automate currency conversions and compliance processes. The high-tech design of BRICS Pay allows for rapid deployment, making it adaptable to various technical and regulatory environments among member nations. Its scalability enables it to handle increasing transaction volumes and incorporate new participants without compromising efficiency. Interoperability is a key feature, allowing seamless interaction between different national payment frameworks and ensuring smooth cross-border transactions. Additionally, the distributed network optimizes liquidity flows by providing real-time settlements in local currencies. These characteristics enhance the system's efficiency and position it as a viable alternative to traditional financial platforms. By promoting the use of local currencies in international trade, BRICS Pay aims to weaken the dominance of the US dollar in global transactions, fostering a multipolar financial order. The platform grants member nations greater control over their financial dealings, reducing the effects of external economic pressures and sanctions. By integrating national payment systems, BRICS Pay seeks to accelerate cross-border transactions, lower costs, and improve the overall efficiency of financial exchanges among member states. In October 2024, at the 16th BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia, BRICS Pay was officially unveiled as a blockchain-based cross-border payment system. Demonstrations at the summit showcased the system's capabilities, highlighting its potential as an alternative to conventional financial networks. BRICS nations share a common goal of strengthening their financial stability and mitigating risks associated with currency volatility and geopolitical uncertainties. To achieve this, the bloc has been accumulating gold reserves extensively. By the end of the second quarter of 2024, BRICS countries had amassed approximately 6,200 tons of gold, representing 21.4% of global reserves. Russia leads this effort, with 2,340 tons, accounting for 8.1% of global holdings, followed closely by China, with 2,260 tons, or 7.8% of worldwide reserves. Notably, Brazil has nearly tripled its gold reserves between 2018 and 2024, demonstrating a strategic move to strengthen its economic defenses. This accumulation reflects a broader intent within the BRICS alliance to reduce reliance on the US dollar and promote financial sovereignty. The buildup of substantial gold reserves serves several strategic purposes. By diversifying their monetary assets, member states protect themselves from sanctions and enhance their independence in monetary policy making. Gold acts as a hedge against external financial risks, ensuring that BRICS economies are better equipped to navigate global economic fluctuations and crises. This initiative is not only about protecting their economies, but also about signaling a shift toward a multipolar, global monetary system. The stockpiling of gold supports broader efforts to assert economic autonomy and develop financial systems that function outside the constraints of traditional Western-dominated frameworks. The integrated strategies of increasing gold reserves and implementing initiatives such as BRICS Pay demonstrate the bloc's commitment to establishing a strong and self-reliant financial ecosystem. Together, these measures aim to create a resilient framework that can withstand market instability while reducing dependence on traditional financial channels such as the US dollar and Western-controlled institutions.